Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Nameless. And okay, so we are in the chapter, we're in Lance's chapter, we're in the chapter Grandpa and Lance, and we're now talking, we passed our exams, yay, after several attempts, because I'm terrible, and we are now having coffee with Lance, or tea, actually, sorry, we're having tea at Banjul, but anyway, so we have one more choice left in this chapter, and then we have another chapter where we have one final choice, and then I think that leads to our good ending. What I will probably do, and we may or may not get to it in this part, but just fair warning, just in case we do, I'm going to obviously do the right choice in this part. The next one, when we get to that last choice in the next chapter, I'm going to save it there. We're going to go back and load the save where we started the bad path. That basically plays through the whole game, and we're going to skip through everything, choose all the bad shit, and kind of like read the differences and everything. And then we're going to go and we're going to get our bad ending. Then what we'll do is come back, load here. Well, obviously not here. We'll save. And then do the good ending. Because I want it to end on a good note. I don't want to end on a bad note. So I figure that seems like a good plan. This way we've read most of the game in the good vein as opposed to in the bad sense. So we'll have better memories of the good path. But that could mean that Lance's path is over in like another part or two, which means that I think in the last part was where I was like, hey guys, do you want me to do longer parts? And by the time you tell me, we'll be halfway down Yunho's path, because I'm really recording ahead in this because I'm just like really into this game now. Like, I'm further ahead in this than anything else, but I'm like, I can't stop. I really am enjoying this game now. So, I don't know. I'll wait until you guys let me know. So obviously, if for the next week or two, I don't know. Maybe I'll do longer parts anyway. But we're going to skip through the common stuff unless, just because I'm ahead and I don't want to like hold off and wait, and accidentally fall behind. Being ahead is actually better for me, but anyway, we'll see what happens. I might do longer parts anyway, and then if everybody's really, really opposed to them, I'll stop and make them shorter. Or maybe I'll wait and do the longer parts until you guys let me know, so maybe you won't notice the change for like a week. Who knows what's going to happen, because I can't make decisions. I just make them on the fly. We'll see what I do. Anyway. Oh, I went to Grandpa's room when you were sick. Oh, wait. What did you say? I went to Grandpa's room when you were sick. I honestly don't try to go in there because I remember Grandpa every time. I was scared. I didn't feel brave enough to recall my memories with him. I started telling Lance things I'd never told anyone. Is it because the sweet lemon tea makes me feel comfortable? Because Lance. Or maybe I feel comfortable because I'm alone with Lance. That's exactly it. I felt like I'd have to face my memories of him if I go into that room. That was my honest thought. I know in my head that Grandpa already passed away. But I didn't want to acknowledge it with my heart. See, I feel this. I feel this. I get her. I do. You still miss your grandfather very much. Perhaps that is natural. You liked him very much. I realized that even as a doll. Lance said quietly. So how did it feel when we popped his skull off and, replaced his eyeballs? I mean, was he like, ah! Was it excruciating? Or was he like, nah. Par for the course. I mean, that's just weird. A little trippy, but other dolls probably won't understand. But Lance is a doll that knows about Grandpa. So I could easily nod at his words. He's right. I still miss Grandpa very much. So you do not have to try so hard. You just have to slowly get used to it. Lance. Huh? I was just about to reply to his comforting words when my phone rang. I saw the caller ID and number on the screen. The music just montage. It was Mom. Hello? It's Mom. I know it's sudden, but we'll be flying in today. Today? Yes, let's have dinner together. Oh, okay. Where should I go? Do you remember the hotel we often stayed at? The one near the airport? Meet us there. Oh, then can you be there in an hour? So soon. I'll have to take a cab right now. Then do that. All right. See you soon. That's really cute. Your parents, I guess it's your grandfather's house. right? But it's technically probably your parents, whoever's child, your mom or your dad, whoever, like your grandpa is your paternal grandfather, whoever. So let's just say it's your mom's dad, right? So your mom probably owns the house now, right? Because your grandfather's gone. So your parents never come to the fucking house and stay? I mean, I suppose that maybe it's just for plot convenience because otherwise how would we hide all these goddamn boys? So I'm fine with this, but it just seems weird. Like, oh honey, we're staying at the hotel, come visit us and then go back to your own house. That'd be like my mom coming to visit me and being like, okay, I'm staying at the hotel down the street. It's fucking weird. Like, or like I don't know. Or like living at home and my parents are like traveling around the world and they're like, oh, we're going to come home, but we're going to stay at the hotel. We're not coming to the house that we own. Like, so weird. I mean, I guess for convenience, oh, we're coming in for the night and then we're just going to stay at the hotel because otherwise it's an hour drive. You know what I mean? Like, so weird. But maybe that's just because I live like 10 minutes from the airport. So I don't know. All right. See you soon. They must really have just arrived at the airport since the call ended briefly. I blankly stared at my phone. An hour later, it takes at least 40 minutes for me to get to the hotel. Always so abrupt as usual. Is it your parents? Yeah, they're here. They want to have dinner with me. I see. I think I have to get a cab right now. Yeah? Lance looks at me. If there's any trouble, call me. You never know what might happen. Oh. It's the first time Lance told me to call him. My face gets red again. It wasn't anything to get embarrassed about, but just now my heart began to beat fast. Yeah, of course, I will. I answered awkwardly in a loud voice. Even when I left the cafe with Lance, my heart was beating fast. I didn't know why I was trembling so much. It was nothing. My clenched hands started to get sweaty in my pocket. She told me we'd see each other soon, but I didn't know it'd be this soon. I didn't even think about my parents this morning, and now we're having this fancy meal together. The clatter of silverware and calm classical music harmonized together. My parents always liked to dine at a hotel. Probably because it's simple and seems elegant. Honey, doesn't she look brighter to you? Yeah, are you happy about something these days? Do I look that way? Well, I made a lot of friends recently, so it's been fun going to the academy. I'm glad you're doing so well. When you were little, you used to just play with dolls. I'm glad you have good friends now. Yeah, they're dolls. My dolls are my friends. Like, literally. There's nothing wrong with that. I still play with dolls. Until very recently. Now I'm even living with human versions of them. But I can't tell them that. They will never believe such a ridiculous story of living with dolls that have come to life. Until they show up at your house and you're like, look, here's my doll, here's Lance. Or, I mean, it was going to be like, or they show up in your house and they're like, honey, you're pointing at something that doesn't... Look, Mom, this is Lance, my doll, and this is Lance, the person version. And you're like, honey, there's no one there. And we've just been imagining them this whole time. But then everyone at school would be imagining them too, so. That would be a nice twist, right? The boys live in your house, nobody sees them because you have to hide them, and then you find out they're not real and you're just fucking crazy and you end up in an institution. What a traumatic way to end a romancy visual novel. And they're like, oh, it was psychological horror because now you're scarred for life. Like Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh my god. Like, that's psychological horror right there. If you haven't played that, you should. It's free on Steam. I played it when I was off recording. Well, they don't really know much about ball-jointed dolls in the first place. Since father died... Oh, so, okay, it's our... Oh, of course! I picked the wrong parent. 50-50 chance I did it wrong, so it's Dad's dad. Okay. Since father died, I was worried about you being alone. I'm proud of you for doing well. Really? You never had lots of friends. We worried you spent too much time with Grandpa. We thought you'd get lonely after he passed away. But I'm glad you have so many friends. I must have worried about nothing. I can't believe you're so grown up now. Honey, she's changed so much. Mom smiled satisfyingly, but I was a bit offended that she spoke about Grandpa negatively, but I didn't say anything. Well, I mean, she's not thinking of him negatively. She's literally thinking, like, you spend so much time with your grandfather, at some point you do have to... I mean, yes, you should spend time with your grandparents and your parents and older relatives before they're gone. I mean, you can learn a lot from them, and their family, unless they're terrible human beings, then, bye. But you know what I mean? If you spend all of your time with them and you never spend time with people your own age, that when that person dies, yes, it's lonely, it's awful. You spent your entire life with this person, and there's a vastly different this is not like, oh, your grandparents, they've spent their entire lives together and one of them passes away. It's sad for the other one, but they're both old. You know what I mean? Usually. You know what I mean? You're like a teenager. Your grandfather is going to pass away, and then you've got your whole life of not knowing how to, because I don't have friends. And then it would be lonely. So, I mean, technically your mom isn't wrong to worry about it. Maybe she just could have phrased it better. You know what I mean? And there is nothing wrong with spending all that time with your grandfather, but you should still have friends your own age so that, you aren't lonely when that only person in your life dies, because they're like 3 times your age. Think about it. Although Grandpa in the story was really not freaking old, so that's even sadder. That hurts. Should we redecorate the house now so you can get rid of your memories of him? What? I stopped moving my fork at the sudden suggestion. Mom continued without realizing I dropped the piece of food I was trying to eat to spear. The house looks too old. We can change the TV and all the furnitures. How about it? That's a good idea. It might get a bit gloomy to see things that belong to someone who's no longer there. And isn't it time to throw away some of your old things? I laid down the silver I was holding onto and looked at my parents. Their intentions were good, but I was upset. No, you don't have to do that. Why? If you're worried about the cost, don't. It's not about the money. How should I tell them? I'm honestly surprised we have the choice. Okay, so yeah. I want to leave Grandpa's house as it is. It's the house I lived in with Grandpa for a long time. Sometimes the memories make me sad, but I don't think it's bad to be reminded of him like that. It's the house that contains all the memories Grandpa gifted me with. And not only of Grandpa, but also of Grandma. And all the new memories I've been making with the dolls. There's so many memories within that house, I don't want to get rid of it just because it's old. It's not such a bad thing to be sad because of memories. That's how I get reminded of how much Grandpa had loved me. He's still an important person to me. I won't forget him just because we changed the furniture, and I won't change my mind about this. That's how much memories of Grandpa matter to me. Oh my, are you still that attached to your grandfather? What kind of cold-hearted assholes are our parents? Like, oh, you're still that attached. I mean, dude, I get the mom, it's your father-in-law, but you'd think the dad would be like, I mean, I can understand them asking, like, hey, do you want to redecorate so that you don't feel bad? I mean, like, because, yeah, it could get overwhelming. Like, there's too many memories in this place. And sometimes you need to let it go and you need to change. You know what I mean? And it's easier to make a change. And yes, you can still have memories, but you know what I mean? Sometimes it's easier to change. Sometimes you want to keep it. But if I'm like, look, no, I'm fine with, I want to keep the memories. I'm not ready to, like, change everything yet. Are you sure you're still attached to that old fart who's dead? Bitch. Cold. You are not making her parents endearing at all. Honey, it's nothing new. She's always followed him, ever since she was young. Well, you were just stubborn like him. I understand that, but... Mom looked at me as if she had something more to say. Okay, do as you please. I mean, you can give me the money if you want, though. I'm finished. Can I be excused? We soon stopped talking about the house and Grandpa. My parents were about to start talking about their business, so I got up. Oh, already? We can get you a room at the hotel. You can stay the night. No, I have something to do tomorrow morning. I suddenly remembered the play rehearsal tomorrow morning. Thanks to the rehearsal, I didn't lie, but I wanted to get up even if there wasn't a reason. Because I was upset at how they talked about redecorating the house. It's not that I don't love my parents, but I can't stand it when they talk that way. I don't expect them to understand. They never spend a lot of time with me. It's natural they don't really know my thoughts and the way I live. So I can't expect them to understand everything. But I don't want them to just guess and interfere like this. Especially with things concerning Grandpa. Do you have money for a cab? I do, don't worry. I'm sad you guys are leaving tomorrow, but I'll be off. All right, I'll call you again. Okay, then... See, what is that flashing? Do you see that? I grabbed my bag and came out to the hotel lobby. I immediately got a cab and headed home. Do you have cab money? I do, but I'll take money. Yeah, she's like, yeah, no, I totally have money for a cab. I'd be like, no, you could fucking pay for a cab. You made me drive all the way goddamn here. You should pay for the cab here and the one back, assholes. No, I wouldn't do that. You know what would happen is like, first of all, my parents wouldn't be assholes like this. But, if I met my parents, they'd be like, oh, what my dad used to always do, it was great. Because, like, my parents, I drive to my sister's house. They were always like, here's some gas money. My dad would always come over. Don't tell your mother. And give me like a $20 bill. And I'm like, she knows that you give me this. Just don't tell your mother. I'm like, Mom fucking knows. Everybody knows. You give us secret money all the time. It's not a secret. But we're like, okay, cool. I won't tell anyone. And then when I'm going to leave, my mom would be like, here's some money for gas. And you're like, I'm not going to tell you. Don't tell my mom. Dad gave me money. I miss that. My mom will still give me gas money. It's just not the same anymore. My dad was like the one who would give us secret money, and I like the secret money. I miss that. God, I miss that a lot. I mean, it was a lot of other things, but it's just one of those funny little quirky things. Oh, God. I immediately got a cab and headed home. I paid the fare and got out of the cab. If it weren't for that talk about Grandpa, we could have been more friendly towards each other. I feel bad because of it. I think back, wondering if I was too harsh to them. I have a feeling that would be kind of how this would go, whether you said, like, how dare you? Or like, no, I really don't think we should redecorate the house. But in that situation, that was all I could say. I was still bothered by my dinner with them. I feel down. I had no idea they were thinking of getting rid of Grandpa's house. I felt more upset since I wasn't expecting it at all. You're back. Lance, were you out? I was approaching the front door when I heard Lance's voice. Lance was in front of the door. It was already dark, but he didn't seem to care. Lance comes towards me. You look tired. Oh, a bit. Did something happen? Lance asked. I felt better seeing him worry for me. Yeah, but it's nothing big. Lance stood in front of me quietly. He didn't move and just stared down at me. Seeing him stand still in front of me like that, I wanted to tell him everything that happened today. Can I tell you? I heard Lance laugh. I heard Lance laugh from above my head. Why are you laughing? Don't laugh. Do you need permission to talk? Why do you think I'm standing here? That's so cute. He's like, as soon as you left, I've been standing here for hours. Aw, he's so adorable. Does that mean I can tell you? Lance laughed without saying anything again. But I suddenly didn't feel like talking even though he said yes. I was fidgeting when Lance spoke first. Go ahead, I will listen. Seeing Lance nod while saying that to me, I felt like talking again. I crouched down to the floor. Aww. My parents talked about Grandpa. It was easy after starting. They were always a bit jealous that I followed Grandpa more than them. Maybe that's why, but whenever my mom saw something she didn't like in me, she always said it's because I'm like Grandpa. Again, when I was being stubborn today, she said it's because I resemble him. I don't think Mom knew how important Grandpa is to me. No, she still doesn't know, or she would never have said that. Said what? She said since Grandpa passed away, we should get rid of his things and redecorate the whole house. Saying I'll feel sad when I see his things. I remember how flustered I was when I first heard it. Actually, I felt flustered for a second, and then I got mad. The house is not just mine. It was Grandpa's precious house when he was alive. That thought made me feel more upset. It's kind of like, and Lance is like, well, yeah, but I mean, then we could get like bunk beds and shit, and we'd have more room for activities. Like, we could redecorate your grandfather's bedroom, put 4 beds in there, and then like, well, and then a mattress on the floor for, trundle bed. Like, we'll just put him in a little drawer and tuck him underneath. He's small. He's fine. When I heard that, I felt a bit mad. I don't want to throw away anything that contains memories of him. Aww. Yeah, you obsess on things that have memories. Lance nodded and said, What? Obsess? Me? Yes, you said so when you lost your phone the other time. That you feel sad when you lose things that contain memories. At Lance's word, I thought of what happened. Come to think of it, I did say that. You are that kind of person. You were odd for not seeing things as things. So of course you do not like it. Things that your grandfather used are not just things to you. They were already something precious. Lance's calm words comforted me. He seemed to understand all the things my parents could not get. Lance knows me this well. Since when? Since when did Lance know so much about me? Lance opened his mouth again. Aww, I love it. They're just sitting there together. So cute. So, I'm really lucky. Huh? Lance's eyes twinkled like the night sky. He does really look like a fucking prince, though. I mean, seriously, like, look at this. I know that he's a doll and he's kind of been, like, standoffish, but look at him here. He's more like, he's so fucking princely. It's ridiculous. So I think I already read the Lance's eyes twinkled like the night sky. Lucky. Such an odd person is my owner. You are such a strange owner. I felt like I was going to be sucked into his blue eyes. My heart started to pound again. I wonder what such a strange owner would think of a doll like me. I always wonder. Even now. That is all I think about. He sounded nervous, but his attitude was different. It was different from when he went crazy feeling envious towards Red. His soft voice rang through the air and told me how he felt. I want to know how many memories you have of me. I felt as if Lance was chanting a spell. At his every word, my heart starts pounding and my face gets heated. It wasn't embarrassment, but immense happiness and gratitude. And lastly, uncontrollable butterflies. Lance started chanting again. Spacey, tell me. I totally forgot. They've been calling us master or owner, so I just totally forgot that we put, like, I know that I see my name when I talk, like, but they rarely ever call me, and all of a sudden, Spacey, tell me. Oh my god, it's so weird. It's like all of a sudden, like, oh, he's talking to me. Not like game meat, but me. Oh, just, it was like a shock. I was like, how does he know it's me? Forgot. Because I don't really pay attention. Like, I see this out of the corner of my eye, so I know who's talking. But, like, because they keep calling me master or owner or, like, whatever. And they don't... I feel like it's been so long since they've said my name that I just... Wow. Oh, my God. That was weird. Anyway. I just had to start talking when he said that. I was never this aware of Lance. To me, Lance is so special I can't even put it into words. Of course, there are the memories of me making mistakes and being excited at my first ball-jointed doll. And the only doll that stood by my side when Grandpa died. He's my family, my friend, and my prince I always dreamed about. I'm surprised that you know this much about me. Lance, you're my precious doll I wouldn't change for the world. I couldn't read Lance's eyes. His expression was so complicated I couldn't tell if he was happy or sad. Oh, is he upset because I called him a doll? After saying everything, I decided to change something, since I felt like I treated him like a thing. Oh no, you're not a doll now. I mean, a precious person. What you just said. Never take it back. What? Oh, this is so cute! I was stammering, trying to answer him when he suddenly grabbed my hands. This was definitely not the hands of a doll. They were warm and soft, and I felt like I could feel the warmth in my heart. Lance carefully leaned his head against mine. Oh, God, this is so precious. Lance. I'm worried you'll get cold. My beating heart started to pound now. I couldn't tell if the heartbeat ringing in my ear was mine or Lance's. Maybe it's ours. Oh, look, she's blushing. Lance, here, comforting me with his warmth, was really the prince I dreamt of. Now, he's much kinder and more good-looking than the prince I'd imagined. And seeing Lance like that made me feel brave enough to be honest with him. I don't know if Lance would feel the same right now. Even if all my surroundings change? Even when the things I hold dear disappear? Even if Grandpa died? Even if Mom really does redecorate the house? Even if all the other dolls do end up disappearing? Even when sad things like that happen? Lance, I want you to always be by my side. My desperate wish rang between us. That's really sad. Like, even if the other dolls disappear, which would suck and I'd be sad for them, but like, don't you dare do it. That's so cute. We're like sacrificing the other dolls for Lance in our like heart a little bit. That's so sad and beautiful at the same time. I don't know how I feel about this. My voice trembled. I carefully told him a wish I'd always wanted to tell him. Of course. As long as time allows, I will stand by you. Lance held onto my hands tighter. I felt his sincerity through his sturdy hands. And even if all of a sudden they all turn back into dolls, right? You feel like she's like, I'm never getting rid of them. Because she knows that they're in there. So she's going to be this 80-year-old woman like, make sure you bury me with my dolls. I can finally touch you like this. I can hold your hands and hold you in my arms. Oh my god, I'm going to cry. Was he sitting there as a doll like, I love you, my owner. I wish I could hold you. So fucking adorable. So cute. I will definitely be by your side. Lance never joked around, but he was more serious than usual. It sounded more like a pledge than a promise, and I felt so moved to hear it. I want you to recall memories through me, and make new ones with me. And I want the world you showed me to be my everything. I will always be your first doll. His sincerity spread through my heart. I mean, that's true. My heart was too full for words that I couldn't even say thank you. Lance just silently looked at me. He held onto my hands for a long time, and when he let me go, all my troubles were already far gone. Even if they try to redecorate the house, I won't be so scared now. Of course, I'll be sad to see the house go and all my memories of Grandpa fade away. But even then, Lance will be by my side. The thing is at some point you can let it go and like let them redecorate, but you keep certain things. You know what I mean? This was Grandpa's favorite book. This was his favorite chair. These were, and you keep certain pieces. You may have to you can't keep the whole entire house, but you keep certain things. He promised, so I'm no longer scared. You wouldn't know how anxious I really am. You don't know. You don't know how scared I am of turning back into a doll. How scared I am of one day not being able to be with you. But I can't even say since it will worry you. Oh, now I'm scared, Lance. What the fuck? This is the last chapter, guys. This is the last chapter. So we're going to get to the last. Okay, so actually I'm going to stop this part here. Okay. And we'll do the last chapter, and then what we'll do is here's what I don't like. I see the end title. I guess there's a Christmas thing. But it's like True Friends, Christmas with Lance. It makes True Friends! Nah, bitch! No! No! Don't you cock block me. I don't want to know. Nobody tell me. I'll have already played the ending by the time you see this, so anyway. So what we're going to do in the next part is we'll go through this last chapter. We'll probably get to the choice, and like I said, I will save. And then we will go back, do the bad ending first, and then come back through and do the good ending. So be prepared for the bad ending in the next part, most likely. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.